Hello, everyone. Brady, Charlie, Garrett here. We're talking some Big Brother. This is technically week one, which is crazy. Because it feels like a lot has gone on over the first week. It's an exciting first week, which is always good for a show because you want the viewers to stick around if you're CBS. So we had our first veto competition this week. We already know that the three players that were guaranteed to be in it were going to be Christy, the current head of household, and then Cliff and Kat, who were the two nominees. So getting right into the competition, let's just go right into the actual veto comp itself. Jack, Nicole, and Sam were all picked to play in the POV comp. And I'll be honest, I missed the first half of this episode or so. So Charlie, break it down for us. How'd the comp go?
Yeah, we got to talk about the huge thing first.
They brought in a guest host of the comp, and that was the winner from Big Brother 20, Casey. So it was pretty cool to see her because everyone that had been on this season, they had watched last year for sure, whether it was in Sequester or as an actual fan. But yeah, that was cool. I feel like you don't get a guest host right off the bat too often. No. You know, I feel like it's something later in the season for sure. Welcome,
it was a treat for someone who's not as big into this. You know what I mean? I mean, I am now, but wasn't that before the season started. You know, like it was just a nice little treat. I was like, oh, this is cool. It's like I could see. Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, it was I guess the same competition they had last year that Casey won, and it was a fun competition.
Did they call it the slow-mo competition or something like that?
So I didn't catch the name actually.
It makes sense if that was what the joke that they made, but that because it was really well done what this actually looked like in the episode.
Got to catch like different food items while that food is getting thrown at you.
And they used high-speed cameras to film it, so everything looked amazing and in super high quality on the stream. So it was awesome.
That's something you can never really dog CBS for. They always have great production quality of the episodes, of the competitions, and even if the competitions aren't that close in reality, they make it seem like everything is right down to the wire, which is always cool.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it ended up being pretty close with the points at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome, Ton.
And like then so Garrett, how'd the comp end up playing out, man? We all know that Sam ended up winning the competition, but was it close or did Sam run?
No. Well, so some people, I don't remember. I didn't see what the final scores were. I don't know if you saw them, Charlie. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what they were. I remember that I believe Sam had like 21 points at the end of it all. So it wasn't like there was a lot of points scored. It was mostly people catching stuff on the end. By the way, I would like to point out that I feel like a couple of these people have opportunities to play as like outfielders in the MLB. The way they caught some of these what was it? Strawberries? Not cherries. Strawberries at the end. They looked like they were MLB outfielders. I'm not even kidding. You know those slide catches you have to make on the run? Yeah, it was one of those. And it was pretty cool because they had them like the last little bit, which is where everyone pretty much scored most of their points, which is like a table slide. Like, side note, Cliff literally threw everything of his heart and soul into this competition. Even though it didn't result in much for him, I love the guy for what he did. You know what I mean?
For the big red hog.
Come on, man. His name is Cliff Hogg III. You know he's going all out.
Legend.
The big red hog, indeed.
Tom says Sam scored 21 and Jack had 20. So Jack was actually really close to winning.
Yeah, he caught a couple at the end. He caught both of the two at the end. So that's 20 points right there.
So that would have been nuts. I mean, that would have changed everything based on how we saw the rest of the episode play out. If Jack knew where Christy's head was at, I personally don't think he would have used a veto.
No,
probably not. No.
So going on that, we saw, and I remember Charlie talking about this a couple days ago. Charlie was like, "Dude, Christy's been crying all week. Every single time the feeds cut over to her, Christy's crying."
It's not wrong.
She was basically crying the entire episode. So
yeah, even in diary.
Dude, yeah, she even made the point to be like, I don't even know why I'm crying this much. It's week one, so I thought that was pretty funny. But Charlie, what do you think about Christy? So originally the plan was cool. Sam's going to use Sam basically let everyone know right away. I'm going to use the veto on Cliff, and then the Alliance, aka Jack, wanted Kemi to go on the block, which Kemi's been kind of his target all week. And Christy was having second thoughts about it. What do you think about Christy having second thoughts? Do you think that this is warranted? Do you think that it's kind of good that she's weary of Jack?
Yeah, absolutely. It lets you know that she's not going to completely let someone run her game, even though she, they really made it seem like Sam was the one that picked Ovi. So in a way, he kind of picked the other nominee anyways, just did it nicer. So it's it's hard to get a read on it, but she's definitely on a Jack. Unfortunately for her, she let Nicole, Sam, she's let all these people pretty much know that she's in an alliance that they're not in.
Yeah, Sam even said that. He's like, well, she keeps referencing this group, which I'm not part of.
If hey, if these guys catch on and start putting 2 and 2 together, maybe they'll, Yeah,
what's tough about this though, Garrett, is that it's an alliance of 8 people in a house of 15, and so the odds of them actually picking the exact right people and not Sam could go to a random person in the house, and chances are he's going to end up going to the wrong person based on just how odds shake out, right?
Oh, yeah. No, this is actually a conversation that while this was all, I don't think it counts as spoilers to talk about when me and him were seeing this stuff before, right? Seeing bits and pieces of this stuff before, right? And because we already seen it, it's already out there. When we were talking about this, speculating up until before this stuff came out, that's what we were trying to figure out was when was this going to crack? Because this many people in one group, there's a chance that somebody's going to let something slip by not even meaning to, because somebody starts freaking out, for example, and all of a sudden this starts getting out. And 2 people who had no idea what was going on are now looped in on this. I mean, that's exactly what Nicole said. It's like, I'm now in the loop. I was completely out of it. Now they understand. People, now keep that in mind. There's like a blackout for these other people that are not in this 8-person group. They have no idea what's going on in the house. They're all so confused at this point. So
yeah,
it'll be really interesting to see where that goes.
Hello, off course. How's everyone doing today? Going right down the line. I'm Charlie and I saw Spider-Man today. It's pretty good.
I did as well.
We all saw Spider-Man.
We all saw Spider-Man. Rachel, you're the only one that hasn't seen Spider-Man. Sorry. Spider-Man. Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man was good. And this was one of the few Marvel movies. I'll tell you this. I'm not going to give you guys an actual spoiler of it, but usually with the Marvel, if you guys know the stingers at the end, usually the first one is actually pertinent to the story, and the second one is just kind of a troll. The second one is actually important, so stay for both.
I'm going to say both are important. I'm going to make that argument.
Definitely.
Oh, dead. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But in future Marvel movies, I mean, like with the Deadpool movies, it was always like the first one was actually important, and then the second one's just some troll. Doesn't matter to anyone.
And then in the second Deadpool, they're like, we're going to make the entire end sequence of credits an entire troll sequence, where we just troll the entire X-Men universe, Fox X-Men universe. You know what I mean? Like,
Justin, you might want to get that checked out, man.
Hey, man, they need to bust out the horny goat weed in the house.
Whoa!
Go away.
Go away.
Bye.
All right. So basically, Christie's decision ended up coming down to a choice between 3 people. The obvious choice, which was Kemi, because that was kind of plan A from the beginning of the week. And then it shifted over to Ovi, which is like, well, he's the easy target. We're not really sure who he's working with, who he's working against, even though we do know that Ovi thinks that he's in a 5-person alliance with Christie. So Ovi thought, he's completely safe. And then Jack, the idea of Jack was thrown out by Sam, because basically Christie kept saying like, oh my God, I wish, Jack is bullying me, and, I wish he wasn't here and stuff like that. And Sam's like, you're literally head of household. Why don't you just put him on the block? And then she's just that scared of him, which is, depressing. But yeah. So Maddie Mo says, what's up, gang? Hello. Fume. Hello. Justin said Ovi should use his reward now, or should be let to use his award now. So let's talk about that. So Ovi ended up being the replacement nominee. He was obviously very shocked, and he looked kind of sad in his diary room session as they were going off. And generally, that's what happens. I'm sure Ovi was the first person called into the diary room as soon as that veto ceremony happened, because they want to get the guttural reactions. And so Ovi really has a lot of work to do. And he wasn't, to my knowledge, told, oh, you're going to be a pawn, you're going to be this, you're going to be that. And CBS edited it as such, which is like Ovi was completely blindsided. Even if it was mentioned, I still don't think it was expected on his end. So it seems like the plan for Christie as HOH is to still get Kat out of the house. That was, her original target. Yeah. But if you had to give it a percentage, what do you think the percentage is based on right after the veto, Charlie, are of Kat going home as to Ovi?
See, we're not going to be cheese ball and say 50-50.
Yeah, don't do that. You give me at least 51-49.
I'm going to say the chance of Kat going home, I'm going to say 20%. And I think the only way she goes home,
Ovi?
I think the only way she goes home is if Mickey gets annoyed with her.
Okay.
To the point where he can't go back.
Gosh, I'll take the under on that bet any day. Jeez. Make money that way.
Garrett, where would you put it at, man? Kat or Ovi?
I'm closer to like a 60-40 that it will still be. I'm still on the idea that it will probably be Ovi, just because, like, as we've seen in these first few episodes, just a lack of figuring out how to interact properly with some of these other people that are, you know, like, as we said, this alliance is secretive still. How an alliance that big stayed secretive for as long as it did, I still don't know. But
it's weird, though, because people know that there is an alliance. It's just like people don't seem to care enough to dig into it because I think they're afraid that they're going to talk to the wrong person.
Here's something that's interesting. If some of the people started talking to each other that didn't know they were in the alliance, they could figure it out, but they're not communicating with the other people at all. So all the people that aren't in it aren't the people that are communicating, or sorry, are the people that aren't communicating well. I said that sentence correctly.
It's just like, look at it this way, Garrett. You know, if you're someone, if the three of us were in the house right now and you knew that you were not in an alliance, but you did know that there was an alliance of 8, or at least a large alliance, and you didn't know who you could talk to, either me or Charlie. Would you take a gamble and talk to one of us? Would you talk to both of us and hope that, you know,
right,
doesn't come at you, or would you just lay low?
Like, what if by talking to Charlie, I make myself a threat to you because you're like, oh man, that's one of my closest potential allies that's now gone because now he's talking to him or whatever. And that's the thing, is like, one of the small subtle things that happened in this episode, there was a shot where Ovi just came to tell people that dinner was done or something like that, and he saw 2 people talking that hadn't really been seen talking to that point, you know? So it's like, that's something that's going to change when it's just 2 people in a room. That becomes really suspicious all of a sudden at any point in this game. So, you know.
Yeah, and addressing a couple things in chat. Fume, let's just say, I mean, the house was given alcohol, and anytime that happens at night in the Big Brother house and people have nothing better to do, things happen. And people got really sloppy and emotional, and it people said it feels like what's that one show, Love Island or something?
Man, 5 nights a week.
It basically felt like that last night. People thought usually when house guests get alcohol, it makes for an interesting night on the feeds. But apparently last night people were not having it. They were like, oh my God, it was just people crying over each other. And then talking about Ovi not being able to use his power, that's exactly why I hope Ovi stays, because I hate when someone gets a power and then they don't even get a chance to use it. That really sucks. Like, I want Ovi to be able to have that power regardless of how you feel about Ovi. As a viewer of the show, you should want as many twists as possible because that's what makes interesting television.
Well, his power is also so significant too. Like, I feel like because if it wasn't something like, I feel like if it was something really stupid, we wouldn't care. But because they put so much pressure on that first activity, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, now what is the next thing going to be? And the next thing, like, how are they going to keep escalating this? Because the later you get in the game, it needs to get more drastic. So it'll be really interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a good debate because it's like they have extended these power rules in the past. And whether they did it for, and most notably the one I can remember is Big Brother Over the Top with Morgan. They changed her power a little bit. If they had changed Ovi's to after the veto nom, that'd be nuts. Because then it would be like a diamond power of veto in a way. Like, he'd be super powerful.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucks that it goes on someone who's gonna get, you know, who has a really good chance of going out the first week. You know, anything can happen in Big Brother, and but still, it's pretty nuts.
So let's talk about tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is our live eviction and head of household competition. I'm assuming generally Big Brother likes to follow a pattern as far as types of comps. So I'm fully expecting a puzzle comp tomorrow. If I was a betting man asking about what type of comp it would be, I would fully expect one of those first person to get a puzzle, or it might be one of the really quick, like jump in a ball pit or do a true false, you know, it's something like that. So if we're going to go along the lines of it's a mental comp, so both of you guys are thinking Ovi's going home. I think, you know what, I'm gonna hold out hope. I'll say Kat's going home.
I think Kat does go home if David gets the vote to evict. Again, we don't know how David's playing into this. We're seeing him tomorrow. That's Julie said we're seeing him.
So. David could 100% come back into the house because usually Julie's not when she talks about stuff like that, when she's like, he could be out of the game, that's very indicative of everything. So let's say, regardless of who goes home, let's say you can't vote for David, Kat, or Ovi to win HOH. If it's a mental comp tomorrow, Garrett, who do you think will win HOH, or who do you want to win? Or give me both.
Okay, I can give both. So I'll go ahead and say who I think will first, just because I think subtly, even though he says some really, really, if you pay attention to the feeds, he says some really stupid things just in rooms with people. I think Nick could sneakily win one of these competitions. He knows a lot. He's one of those guys that knows a lot of those weird facts about things. You know what I mean?
He's a psychiatrist. I mean,
that, and he won't let you forget. But he makes sure you know, and he tries to psycho. No, anyway. No, but like, and I think he could sneak in there. But who I would want, just for the chaos of what it would mean for week 2, I would want to see Jack win.
For good TV's sake? Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely, because I want to know what happens at that point.
Charlie, who do you want, and who do you think's going to win it?
Okay, so I have this gut feeling, man. Jessica's winning HOH tomorrow. I see it happening.
Okay.
Interesting.
Who do I want to win? I'm going to take the opposite of what Garrett said for the same exact reason. I want Kemi to win. Let's get one of those two. Let's get either Jack or Kemi to. If Jack or Kemi win tomorrow, dude, expect some crazy stuff this week.
Oh my gosh, dude! What if Kemi wins HOH and then puts Jack and Jackson on the block?
Yeah, I mean, dude,
she's the only one that has the proverbial balls to do it. So,
or really the dislike of both of them so directly. I think not that they're you know what I mean, like that to this point. You know what I mean, like so it's like wow. Oh, this is so crazy.
What about you, Brady? What are you thinking, and what are you wanting?
I think, I'm always a fan of people that we haven't really seen much of. I like them to win.
Okay.
So I would like to see where, God, I don't know. I would like to see where Tommy's head is at, to see if he really would go with. I think he's a really kind-hearted person, and even though he's been aligned with Jack and Jackson, would he be unbiased and kind of throw one from each side of the house up? So I think it would be interesting to see Tommy win, and I think from what I would like to, or who I think would win, I don't know. It's kind of with you, Charlie. I have a sneaking suspicion. I think Bella's going to win the HOH tomorrow.
Okay, hey, that's my.
So I'm hoping for Tommy. But I mean, honestly, I probably would have picked either Jack or Kemi too. I mean, for good television, those are the options.
I think Fume is right, boys.
But I mean, what happens
with the big red hog, baby?
Yeah, what happens if wins?
Cliff gets on there and immediately nominate. No, never mind.
No, you know what I hope happens? I hope that David comes back as the sole vote to evict. He gets rid of Kat, and then Ovi wins HOH.
Oh my God!
And then in the anti-alliance forms,
and then he gets manipulated by Jack and Jackson and puts up friggin' Kemi and Christy for going against him.
Oh my!
I really hope it's something crazy with David tomorrow, man. They hyped it up, but they haven't talked about it since, so that gives me a little worried. But what's up, Max? Welcome. How's it going?
Justin says I do like big girls also.
Hey.
Like both of you had the same exact reaction.
He said I want the tiny redhead to win. I think Nicole's doing great, man.
Yeah, I like Nicole.
Dude, I hate the way they're editing her because I've seen her on the feeds and she's normal and she's not as crazy as they're making her seem.
It's a lot of gimmicky this the first 5.
So they'll settle in. I think once they've settled in more anyway. But like, also I think that's part of her personality too. I think she's part of it. She's all for that stuff, you know.
Oh, Swaggy C back in the house.
They have a battle back, and Swaggy C is back in the house. All right.
Oh my goodness.
That's it. We're done. We're tired. We need to go to bed. All right. Anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow night after the live eviction and HOH. We go live within 5 minutes after the episode is done. And if it is an endurance comp and they are showing it on the feeds, we will be broadcasting through it until there's a winner. I remember I stayed up 2 seasons ago for like an extra, I don't even know.
3 hours, dude.
Yeah, like 3 hours.
It was a long one. I remember it was the wall.
It was the surfboard competition. We watched people stand on surfboards for 3 hours, man. Hopefully that's not the case, but Should be interesting. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Click the bell so you know when we go live. And I got to say, I appreciate all you guys in chat. All you regulars that stick around. I love it. Tell your friends. And make a YouTube account for your dog or something. That way we can get some extra views. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Clifford the Big Red Hog. Shout out, baby.
All right. We're out.